one thing. So really, this honestly seems like it just kind of comes down to focus based on the original question.
It does, but no matter what, when you sit down and you write that list of the things that you want to do, you should realize very quickly you can't do everything right now. So there may be something that you want to do, but maybe you can't do it because of money, or maybe you need some form of education. Maybe you need some hookup. Maybe you need a location. I mean, it's a lot of different reasons as to why no matter what list you write out, things still need to be prioritized. So once you start to look at that and you see, well, what can I do first? Well, how does this work? Then that's why I say look at the 90-day focus, because in 90 days you could work it backwards. If you know where you want to be, then you look at the things that you have to do, and then you say, you know what? Well, out of these things, you could say, what do I want to do first? Once you look at your list, or what can I do first? And I mean, some people, I tell them, if you know you're a procrastinator, start with the thing that's the hardest first. If you're not a procrastinator and you're like, I'm the kind of person that's going to just check it off my list, you still got to realize that you have real life that happens in between there. So you can start out your day with the best intentions. Oh my God, I'm going to get so much done. And you get one thing done. But did you do one thing? At least you did one thing, right?
Progress.
Yeah. So, I think people are so hard on themselves without realizing that, there's power in a little bit of doing something, and that's why I say do something every day, because you're not going to be motivated every day. You're just not. It's definitely not going to be motivated every day. But what happens is when you start making money, that motivation changes. She is like, hey, y'all, it's money in the bank account. And then you be like, hey, money. And then y'all want to go talk and spend and live. And it's just like, then you want more from that. But everything is not necessarily money either. Maybe you get appreciation. Maybe you get some accolades. Maybe you get into another position that you haven't been in before. And it's like, I think that is that self-motivation that comes from that. You got to do at least a little bit of something. So
what I like about this is that it's kind of the beginning of two really black weeks in Winston-Salem.
Come on, Black Weeks. It is, yes. And then right after that, Theater Festival. Yep. So we kick it off. We start being blackety black. And then,
black, y'all.
And then, because I'm black, y'all. Yeah, and then we go right into Theater Festival. So I think it is a good melding. And then I know that there's also another Triad Minority Business Week that's going to be in August in Winston-Salem. So the summer is here for you, good black businesses. It sure is.
Let's talk about the Social Summer Series, Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Where's that going to be?
It's at the Nussbaum Center for Entrepreneurship. And so this is a series where if you said, look, I already have social media, now what? So we just did the Twitter class last week. It was great. And so I tell people with this class, this is not a startup class. Do not come to this class talking about, can you help me start my account? This is for people who already have it up, who said, now I want to learn a little bit more and I want to market better. And so each one of them goes through the different steps, because each one is different from each other. And so what you may do on one platform is not necessarily the same thing you'll do on another one. So this week we're doing Facebook, now what? And then next week is Instagram, now what? And then at the end of the month is video marketing. And so each week gives you something to build upon the skills that you already have. And I promise you, even if you already use it, unless you are a super heavy user of a particular outlet, you will still learn something that can help you to grow your business and grow your presence. And then I like to think of things, from a customer's perspective. So what do they want to see? What other things can you create? And so we add in some of the tools that you can use, and different things that you can create graphics with. And so really helping a person get a mindset on what to put on social media.
Which platform has helped you the most with your business?
I want to say it used to be Facebook, because Facebook used to be so dominant. But I would say within the last, you know what?
Facebook.
Okay, did you say that like Drake?
I did.
You say that like
Facebook?
Did you say? That's what I was thinking. Okay.
That sounds like my students.
They
swear Facebook is old.
No, but listen, it depends on what, and so that's why it's like I have to retract a little bit. So if I'm looking for specific things, then Facebook, it only works for certain things for me. So how do I say this? When people are looking for other events and they want to share stuff, that works really well. It just does, because we're the events locally, right? And so they're in this area, and so people share it and people come. If I'm looking at like trying to get individual contracts and looking for more people, then I would say for me, LinkedIn, because I need to know who's in charge. and whoever's in charge, just send them a message. Like, I think people overcomplicate things. Now, you might have to send them a message several times.
Yeah.
You might need to call. You might need to send several emails. You probably need to follow up. But at the end of the day, if I know that you're the director of somewhere, I got your information. I'm just going to send you, and be prepared. But overall, over the last, let's say, year or so, it's Instagram. And I like Instagram better than everything else. But if I were to say, where am I going to probably transition within the next, like, let's say 6 months, is going to be Twitter. So I think that things just change depending upon what are your goals.
To more Twitter in the next 6 months?
Yeah.
That's
Really?
interesting. Why is that?
Because if you are looking for more of a global presence, and I look at it like this, what are the goals? My goals over the next 6 months include sponsorship. That's where the sponsors are at. So when they're looking at that interaction, with Instagram, you got all of the likes and everything and you have engagement, but I think it's a lot more reach to anybody. The difference is it's a nuanced difference, but if you're looking for sponsors and you're looking for people that are paying attention to who you're engaged with, then I would transition to Twitter. So
How do you make that pop though? Because it's easy to make stuff pop on Instagram for some reason. I feel like it's easier than Twitter.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy for me on Instagram.
It's
Really?
not.
I think Twitter's easy, like just based off of what I do. Like as far as like the video, like Instagram is becoming better with that, with allowing like longer videos. But as far as like videos and when I do stories on people or whatever, like most of my reach typically comes from Twitter when I have something that I'm proud of on video.
The reach is far on Twitter.
Yeah.
The marketing value, I feel like the aesthetic is better on
The aesthetic,
Instagram, I guess.
the
See, I'm not
aesthetic.
beautiful, so like,
Oh my
I guess
God.
it's
He
different.
Look, we're not gonna.
Did he just say he wasn't
Yes.
beautiful?
No, I mean I'm
We're
not a
not
beautiful
gonna.
woman. There's beautiful women in this.
It's men that
so
had
it's
that
a
pop
little
on
bit-
Instagram too,
Yeah.
But they might be beautiful men.
though. Okay, first
Like,
of all.
Marketing
I'm
and
not
the
gonna get-
engagements and the photos. I don't know. I don't see a lot of. I don't know. It's different on Twitter. It's a different world.
But that's what I'm saying. Every platform is different. So
Yeah.
how you operate, you need to switch that up a little bit. And so Twitter is definitely going to be, to me, it's more time consuming because you need to pay attention a lot more to who's in charge of certain things. And what you will find is, depending upon the direction that you're going in, if you're looking at it from more of a media standpoint, and think about it like this. When the news pops off and everybody's paying attention to what's going
They
on,
go to Twitter.
it's
That's
Twitter.
Twitter. That's real.
So you have to take that into consideration. Why do you think, don't you think Trump, I mean, I'm just going to use it as an example. Don't you think Trump could make Instagram pop if he wanted to? He could take pictures of that toupee and all of the rest of that all day, right?
Ooh.
But it's not,
He gonna block
y'all
you,
do
so-
know. First of all, and they ruled that he cannot block people. Yes. So